Hello guys, welcome to a new video, and as you can see everything is just as we left it. And today we are going to do some very important things for a FPS game or FPS controller. We are going to make air control. I mean, in real life nobody has air control, but in games it should at least have air control to make it playable. So today we are going to implement air control, crouch, and of course slide. I'm sorry for not being able to upload videos like for 5 days because I was trying to learn crouch, slide, and air control. I mean, sliding was a little bit difficult to get right, but I have got it right with some of my friends taught me. Some of them taught me, yes, sliding and other things. So yeah, let's get on with it. And but I'm going to change my layout. As you can see, we have hierarchy, scene, inspector, and console, but I usually don't use this, so I'm going to change it now. As you can see, we have a layout here. I'm to press wide. Do believe it's this. It is this. No, let me see. Let's do tall. Yes, it's this. I want to put my game right here and my this right here. So let me do this. And by the way, I want to change this. I want to make it um, one column layout, so it's just this, like this, and I don't need that. So yeah, let's go on with our tutorial. Yeah, so the last time we created walk, run, and jump. We also gave our player a mass, which is the player's weight. So now let's open our controller or our script, which I already have in here. You just double press and it will open. Okay, and today we are going to absolutely change almost every aspect in this um, in this script. We are going to make it at least maybe 100 or more, 100 more lines. I mean, it isn't difficult. I will explain everything throughout, so it might be a long video, but that's okay, I guess. I mean, it's going to be worth it in the end. So first we are going to make our every variable, then we are uh, going to use those variable. Okay, first I'm going to delete all of these. I mean, these are going to stay. I'm to just delete them to make them look prettier. Okay, let's delete them, and first we're going to create a public float. Now I'm going to copy this. Now ground stick force is going to do like this. If we have stairs or something else, and if, like I'm saying, if we have stairs, we want to move like on the stairs. Let me just um, make a one more plane plane which one is going to make it small and make it like where is it? Yeah, let me go it above, go it in here, make it small and rotate it. Yeah, so as you can see, our player, let me take him to here. As you can see, we are applying ground stick force so that we move upwards. Like now we should move like upwards, like in climbing this, not just going like this. So that's why applying ground force. Or our player is like on here, and if we press W, our player go like this. We don't want we want to stick here, and of course it just feels better. Okay, now we want to create more vectors. Start taking from slide force of force. Now I have created a lot of variables. Now I'm going to assign them to what I want. You can do whatever. I want my walk speed to be 5, my crouch speed to be 3, and my run speed to be 10. My air speed, I think you should put it to 15 because it is usually that, and my jump height to be 4, and my jump modifier to be 0, no 1, 1 until we which are going to change it when you're running. Going to create give our mess 1. We created jump modifier um, to when you're running we jump higher. You understand, when you run you jump higher. Okay, now we're going to assign these floats. Movement dampening smooth is equal to 8. That's usually the the common one, I guess. Max time slide, I'm going to put it to 0.8. Of course you can do whatever you want, or how much you want your player to slide. Now that's pretty much it. By the way, delete these. We aren't going to use this. Okay, our velocity, that's okay. We are applying our velocity, that should be the same. And we are going to play with our bools in here. Can start slide timer is equal to false, and can no, start taking from slide from turn is equal to false. So we are going to change them when we are running or doing something else. Now brace yourself. As I said before, this is going to be completely, it might be a longer video, or I think I'm going to make air control and crouch in this episode and slide in the next episode if you guys want. And yeah, let me know. First, we in here we're going to make crouch and air control and smoothing our movement. So let's get on with it. Now I'm going to say we want to create a var. Var is something we usually use to not to avoid assigning a type of integer or float to a, how do I say this? We avoid assigning, or like we assigned the bool here we didn't need to assign it. We can say private variable is equal to private is running is equal to var is true. I mean, we can use this, but we can only use it in this function, so we don't need it for now. I'm going to create a var called movement velocity is equal to get desired. First we want to create our function, one more function called void get desired movement velocity. It's not going to be var, it's going to be a vector3, private vector3, and it's going to return a, if you didn't know, we can create functions out of vectors, floats, integer, but we need to return something. When to hit get desired, and we are in here now, where we should do this. In here we want to create our ground input. Let's say var has move input is equal to input dot get axis raw horizontal, and if it isn't equal to null, is not equal to 0, and or create or I'm missing, yes, here, or input dot get axis raw vertical is not equal to 0. Now it should work. This is basically saying AirWSD, and if you're not moving our player, if you're standing still, our movement is 1. It never should be 0. Now I'm going to say in here if has movement input. In here we can say if you are pressing AWSD, which is the movement, we should move, else we should do something. Okay, now we are going to create our ground movement here, and say ground input is equal to new vector3 input dot get axis horizontal, and I'm going to give a 0 in here, then I'm going to create input dot get axis raw vertical. Now we are going to normalize it, which prevents us from speeding up if you're both holding W and Z. So we should move like not front but not side, we should move in the middle. So it is, and if we did that, if we moved like that without this, we will be going much faster. We keep increasing our speed, so if you're doing that, it's good. I'm going to say else, not else, when the ground input is multiplied by equal to our speed, which will be changing to what we want. And when to say, when to create an else we want to smooth our movement in here. So let's get on it and say ground input is equal to vector3 dot lerp. Lerp is a function that smooths the movement between one point to another point. Let's say our ground input to vector3 dot 0, then let's say which we want to choose movement dampening smooth and multiplied by time, delta time. So this is going to smooth our movement, but if you don't want it, you can just delete this, it doesn't matter. And last, we want to create return. It will return our combining these and this, and return transform Oh, we should use the transform that we cached. Transform down transform direction transform direction, which we're going to put ground input. Now this should return us a, we don't need this, I guess. Yes, we should put this and this. Okay, now it's going to return our whole thing, and it's going to apply it to our movement velocity, and we're going to create, if our, I might have forgotten to create another value bool. I might have forgotten to create a bool. Let's say private bool is grounded, and we're going to assign that bool to our player. And say, should we do it here? We don't need to. I guess we want to do it here. Private is grounded is equal to controller dot is grounded. So we don't need to use this. We can just use this and say if our player isn't grounded, then we want to create our air movement. And by the way, we want to also say is if our movement velocity is not square magnitude is equal to is greater than 0, because we have put this as well, we can't be 0. Let's say then in here we want to create our air movement. In here we say var horizontal, or we can just say h velocity, which is horizontal velocity, is equal to vector 3 dot project on plane velocity, then I want to say vector 3 dot up. By the way, I don't know how this works. I might, but I don't, I guess, but it should work. I want to say var vertical velocity is equal to vector 3 dot, and say scale, not project on plane velocity, by our vector 3 dot up. Now I'm to explain. I think I can. In here we are saying that we are taking our horizontal velocity, we are taking it, and we are taking our vertical velocity if we are in the air. So our velocity has vertical and horizontal velocity, so we are taking them and we are going to now change them to whatever we want when we are in the air. Now I hope you guys understand. So I want to just say velocity is equal to vector 3 dot move toward. Move towards is a is like lerp, which is smooth the movement or calculates it and hopes, and I think it calculates and smooths it. And say our at movement, then say movement velocity by time dot delta time, not by, but like that, multiplied by air speed and plus our vertical velocity. Now in here we are taking we are like our velocity has two velocities, horizontal velocity, vertical velocity. We are taking it and we are applying air speed to those, and time dot delta time, so it smooths it and it creates a control. And I'm going to now say in here, let's say else I created something. We don't need these parentheses, we need else brackets. Let's say if not is sliding. By the way, do this so like when we are sliding we don't interrupt our movement. Let's say velocity is equal to our movement velocity. And in here I'm to also say else and velocity is minus equals to our ground, no, ground, not ground, ground stick force, ground stick force. Now this has made air control and ground input, and here we are separating it, and we are we are making it to whatever we want when we're in the air, and here we are applying velocity, our velocity to our movement velocity, which handles both air and ground. So, and we are saying if you're not sliding, then we want to move, but when you're sliding, you don't want to move, and we are, of course, we are applying ground to stick always. Okay, now I'm to create a crouch and some more, but first we need to do something here. Let's say velocity is equal to our controller dot velocity. Be sure to do that. If you don't, it isn't going to work. And I also want to say um, controller dot move by our velocity time no, delta time multiplied by time delta time. Now I'm to delete jump and want to recreate it and say if isn't grounded then return. Just that. It does something like if you're not grounded, just try this. We're basically saying that. And we also can say if we are running a jump modifier, if is running, then jump modifier is equal to 1.5, else jump modifier is equal to 1. Oh, let me put this semicolon there. And we are also going to say if input dot get key input dot get key down. Now we just want to say get button down. We already have a button stored in Unity as well as the horizontal and vertical axes, and say jump. By the way, make sure to write it this way or else it's not going to work. So yes, guys, I think you might have heard a background noise in the previous clip. I'm sorry about that. So let's get on with the what we are making. So we are making jump, and we have in here we have said if input get button down jump. By the way, do precisely this, because if you don't, it might not work, because as I said before, that jump is a already made button in Unity as the axis. So maybe make sure that it's like this. Okay, now let's go on with the next part. We want to say and is grounded. We make sure that we don't jump if you're not on the ground. Yeah, oh, that's a mistake. Is grounded, and in here we want to put I think you're missing this. No, you're not. Okay, now I'll make a velocity plus equal to vector 3 dot up multiplied by our it's I'm sure about that, it's lagging, I don't know why, but let's put jump height multiplied by jump modifier. Yes, jump modifier. And jump modifier is because when we run, we make sure that our player jumps higher or more longer, so it kind of feels like a better FPS. And we want to say divided by our mass as always, and then we also say else. Oh no, I forgot to write in here. And say is grounded is equal to false since we are jumping, and is jumping equal to true. Oh, that's not true. Is equal to, why am I writing some things? True, yes. And else is grounded, is jumping, let's just say is grounded for for um good looking code, I guess, is equal to true, and is jumping is equal to false. false and so that's mostly about. Now we have the jump, we have the running jump, which in the next episode we are going to make slide, and you can see we are moving very nicely here. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the enjoyed the tutorial, and I hope you guys support me, so I'll keep making